guys, it's me again, and here we go with first of today's countries, as we are on Angola and Samoa. First of all, we're on Angola. So yeah, here we go, as in the Middle Ages, Angola, what is now Angola, was organised into kind of like small kingdoms, and the people lived in farm in agriculture, as craftsmen made things of metal and pottery. And the Portuguese first reached Angola in 1483, but they first showed little interest in the area, as the first Portuguese colony was not found until nearly a century later in 1575. And in the 17th and 18th century, Angola was a source of slaves for the Portuguese, and many were transported to Brazil. But the slave trade was abolished in 1836, and until the late 19th century, Portugal had little power over inland Angola. But in 1885, European nations divided up Africa between them. Portugal was forced to make good of their claims to Angola and establish effective control over the inland areas. But it wasn't until the 1920s where they were in complete control over Angola. As the Portuguese still used forced labour on plantations, and until 1961 it was peaceful, but from then on there was a rebellion. As a result of the rebellion, but forced labour was abolished. But different groups in Angola began a guerrilla war against the Portuguese, but they also fought against each other, which would imply that there were several groups of them, each supporting different ideas and all that. And Angola finally became independent after a coup took place in Portugal in 1974. And in Angola, didn't become independent till the 11th of November in 1975. But the civil war still continued, and fighting went until 1991. In that year, a ceasefire was arranged, but it broke down a year later, but as the civil war resumed. And a second ceasefire was made in 1994, but it broke down again in 1998. And a long civil war was finally ended with a ceasefire in 2004, as the country was left devastated, as it has slowly been rebuilt, as it has been helped by oil exports, as it's still dependent on it today, as it is still a poor country. As a new constitution was introduced in 2010, as the economy is growing stronger, as the current population is about 29 million. And it's moving on to languages, as Angola is a South African nation that has single official languages but several national languages, as Portuguese is the official language and is the most spoken in Angola. That was introduced during the colonial era. And yeah, is Kikongo, Umbundu and Kimbundu are the most popular indigenous languages within the country. As a variant of Portuguese spoken in Angola is Angolan Portuguese, and this is similar to Brazilian Portuguese in some aspects. And according to a 2014 study, nearly 71% of the population of Angola speak Portuguese, as the language is the mother tongue of about 39% of the population. but many more speak it as a second language, as Portuguese is also the most spoken and sometimes the only spoken language by younger Angolans, as Portuguese speakers are more common in urban areas of Angola where 85% of the population converse in Portuguese, as the use of the language is relatively lower in rural regions with about 49% of the people in the area speaking Portuguese. So there are other major European languages spoken within Angola, like French, spoken in Cabinda, an Angolan province that is bordered by two French-speaking nations, Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So naturally the people of Cabinda speak French either as well as Portuguese or better than, as 9% of the literate population of Cabinda also speak 10% French and 10% speak Portuguese. And there's also English, as it's the most popular language that is taught in schools within Angola. And for the future, as Angola plans to make English a compulsory subject at schools within the country, which would be unlike French, which would be offered as an elective. Then there's the native languages of Angola, which are recognised as national languages of the country, as radio of the country transmits in 14 different national languages, as the major Bantu language of Angola is Mbundu, which is spoken by about 23% of the Angolan population as a native language, as Mbundu speaking people are most common within the south and centre of Angola, as Kimbundu, Kikongo, Fiate are the other popular native languages spoken within Angola. As Kungankore are two major language families whose languages are spoken by the San people of Angola. And there's small populations within Angola that also speak Arabic and are of Lebanese descent. And there's also a Chinese speaking community of about 300,000 individuals. And yeah, so I got a short legend for you now of Kong Amato, as it's a flying, kind of like said to be a flying monster around Zambia, Angola and Congo, and it's described as a flying reptile we may recognise as a pterosaur, and it was first described as in English by explorer Frank Welland in 1932, although the legend goes back a lot further, as the cryptid lives in rivers and swamps and has a huge wingspan but no feathers. As a similar creature goes by other names in other parts of Africa, as theories of the Kongamato sightings range from bad lightning to the possibility of an unknown species may exist in inaccessible places and all. Yeah, that is Angola for you, and I'll see you soon, so bye for now.